The AI apocalypse is here. Blue-collar workers have felt the brunt as artificial intelligence wipes out everyday jobs. And now it feels like no one is safe. But while millions are watching their careers disappear, some workers can relax, knowing their skills are irreplaceable. From healthcare professionals to firefighters and even the high-stakes world of sales, some roles are untouchable. On today's episode of the Infographic Show, we're revealing the 20 jobs that AI can't replace. Number 20. When it comes to jobs that need a human touch, healthcare professionals are definitely up there. Imagine you're about to have major surgery. The anesthetic kicks in and you start to drift off. The last thing you see is the doctor pulling up ChatGPT for step-by-step instructions on where to slice. Or worse yet, the technician flips the switch on an AI-powered machine. Its robot arm spinning like something straight off a car assembly line. Only this time they're holding scalpels and bone saws, and they're heading straight for you. This feels less like a pleasant future and more like something you would hallucinate during sleep paralysis. But it's not just surgery that would become disastrous under the control of AI. Could you really trust something that suggests mixing glue into pizza cheese to prescribe you meds? Or the same technology that told recovering addicts to just take a little meth as a treat to manage your own addiction recovery? Something without a human body could never truly understand how to treat one, as well as exercise flexible, observation-based judgment on a case-by-case basis. And that's why healthcare pros could never be replaced by AI. It's also why employment in healthcare is expected to grow by 12.6% by 2031, a whole 2 million extra jobs. This next one also shows why AI just can't cope with high stakes. Number 19. AI would be a terrible fit as a lawyer. And we're not just speculating. There are multiple incidents of lawyers utterly humiliating themselves by using AI like a paralegal, only to have it blow up in their faces in the worst way. A study found that general-purpose chatbots hallucinate, which is to say completely make stuff up, on legal cases between 58 and 82% of the time. And Stephen A. Schwartz and Peter Loduca, a pair of New York lawyers, found that out firsthand. They used AI to help retrieve cases to cite in their legal filings, and some of them turned out to be completely fabricated. They faced sanctions and a $5,000 fine for their trouble. And this isn't just an American problem. In summer of 2024, an Australian lawyer was also sanctioned for using AI-hallucinated cases that he couldn't back up. The result? He might lose his license to practice law entirely. And if you're thinking of cutting out the human component entirely and just letting the AIs themselves be your lawyer, you might be the first person who ends up getting the death penalty for a parking ticket. Number 18. In a culture as obsessed with the 24-hour news cycle as ours, you would think that we'd put a lot more value on the hard work of journalists. It is yet another job that AI just couldn't replace. Firstly, because it requires truthfulness and objectivity, which is a real weakness for AI. But more so than that, journalism is actually an extremely physical job. Large language models, or LLMs, are trained on fixed datasets. Even ones with huge data purviews are limited to information that's been digitized and put online. When it comes to breaking news, nothing replaces real boots on the ground. From major political events to natural disasters, journalism demands human presence. Someone who can see, hear, and report what's actually happening in real time. AI could be used to create filler content for publications looking to sell digital real estate to advertisers. But actual investigative journalism is something that only a human being with a physical body and an analytical mind can pull off. Though, strangely, even those lazy filler articles might be a little beyond AI's reach most of the time. The Chicago Sun-Times got in hot water for publishing an AI-generated summer reading list that, surprise, surprise, totally fabricated some of the books on the list. Number 17. Food service jobs may not be quite as sexy as doctors, lawyers, and investigative journalists, but it's still one of the jobs that holds the fabric of society together. And AI has already shown that when it comes to following orders or coming up with recipes, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Recent AI integrations in the drive-thrus of McDonald's and Taco Bell have been disastrous. For the latter, there's that viral video of a man becoming increasingly enraged as he tries to order a large Mountain Dew with his meal. Each time, the AI responds, "And would you like a drink with that?" Over at McDonald's, customers were left begging the drive-thru AI to stop as it added hundreds of chicken McNuggets to their orders. And if the humans remained front of house and the AI went into the kitchen, things might get even worse. Given that they have no direct concept of flavor as humans experience it, AIs tasked with coming up with recipes have failed hilariously, unless such recipes as Thai green curry lasagna, bratwurst ice cream, and crockpot mojito sound appealing to you. Bon appetit! We know who can keep the AIs out. Number 16. Being a security guard requires an interesting mix of skills where AI consistently seems to come up short. For example, it's extremely physical. An AI might be able to detect the movement of an intruder on a security feed, but short of just calling the cops, it really can't do much from there. If a person's breaking into a restricted area, then at a point you need a physical body to go chase down or apprehend the intruder. But let's give AI the benefit of the doubt here and say maybe, at some point in the future, these machine minds have Terminator-style physical bodies. This creates a whole new set of problems. How will the AI security guard know how to use proportional force in a physical confrontation? You probably don't want your new robo-security guard to literally kill someone for trespassing. And of course, there is the matter of spotting trespassers in the first place. For humans, that's basic common sense. But for machine learning, it's a potential nightmare. It would require a whole new infrastructure to teach the AI the difference between someone who belongs on the premises and someone who doesn't. Mistakes on that front could be pretty catastrophic, to say the least. Number 15. While it can sometimes be a pretty thankless job, social workers are one of the most valuable jobs out there for vulnerable and at-risk people in our society. While they don't make the kind of money that private therapists do, they end up in a lot of similar territories when it comes to counseling people in extremely difficult situations. And if you like to keep up with the news, recent headlines about AI have shown that this is a job that they are absolutely horrible at. All major AI chatbot models, especially ChatGPT, have been criticized as being yes men. AI doesn't provide real empathy, it just agrees with you to keep you engaged. And that can trap desperate people in dangerous thought loops, pushing them further and further with horrifying results. In 2023, a man broke into Buckingham Palace after a chatbot had coached him to assassinate the Queen. And in 2025, a man in Connecticut was driven to murder his mother because an AI forced him into a feedback loop during a mental health crisis. So it's safe to say they are not cut out for social work. Speaking of jobs that need human social skills, number 14. Being a sales manager may not be the most glamorous job out there, but it is undeniably one that only a human could do to its full potential. Some of the most important deals in businesses are the ones that happen behind closed doors, where tense negotiations and a little schmoozing are what is truly needed to seal the deal. As we were literally just saying, AIs generally by their nature are yes men, and that is not what power player corporations need when dealing with high-pressure sales situations. They need people who can drive a hard bargain with a soft touch, understand the nuances of human psychology and persuasion, while also looking out for the interests of their employer. AI can be many things, but unless you are very starved for human affection, one of those things is not charming. There is a non-zero chance that your AI sales manager might just give away the metaphorical farm for a comically small amount of money on a whim. And that means higher-level executives probably won't be trusting them with positions like this anytime soon. Real shame for anyone hoping for a sweet deal. Our next job is a little less sweet. Number 13. According to a Microsoft study, embalmers and morticians are among the jobs least likely to be replaced by AI. And when you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. Firstly, the physical act of embalming is extremely delicate. It requires both knowledge and physical finesse that AI doesn't excel at. If you can't trust them with your chicken McNuggets, are you gonna trust them to ferry your corpse to its final resting place? The other reason why AI is unlikely to take this job is cultural. There are a huge number of religious and spiritual beliefs around funeral rites, so it feels just plain weird to entrust the corpses of loved ones to soulless machines. So that's another job that'll stay human. Speaking of deeply human problems, number 12. We've all been there. Maybe a pipe burst or your toilet gets a little too clogged for any of the over-the-counter plungers to deal with it. Life immediately grinds to a halt. You'll need a plumber to come over immediately before water damage wrecks your home or you're standing ankle-deep in whatever nasty sludge is lurking in your pipes. Plumbers can be lifesavers in those moments, and because their services are so necessary in emergencies, they tend to clean up in terms of profit. Plumbing is both a highly physical job and one that involves rapidly changing and evolving situations. And this is a weakness for most AI, especially if the solution it comes up with under pressure is just another hallucination. Number 11. We've seen some disturbing and often embarrassing instances of actors getting replaced by AI. Fortnite learned the limits of this the hard way when they put a digital clone of the late James Earl Jones's Darth Vader voice into the game. The game's user base made it say brain rot phrases like skibbity rizzler and racial slurs. But one place you won't see people getting away with that kind of nonsense is on the stage. People pay good money for tickets to plays and musicals all over the world. Part of that premium is the thrill these audiences get out of seeing real-life actors sharing their physical space and acting out dramatic and emotional moments in front of them. Career thespians and Broadway journeymen will never be replaced by AI because not just the skill but the authenticity is what's being paid for. Number 10. The science is in. Using AI makes people dumber. And if you don't trust us, trust an MIT study that found of a 54-person sample group, ChatGPT users consistently underperformed on neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels. The paper also found that using large language models had particularly negative effects on the minds of younger users. A study by Microsoft and Carnegie Mellon University also found that AI use is devastating to critical thinking skills, one of the bedrocks of education. One of the few antidotes to the brain-sucking nightmare of AIs is, in theory, education itself. So putting an AI in charge of educating the world's use is probably about as good for our global brain cell count as replacing tap water with Bud Light. This is why any society that wants to survive more than a single generation could never replace its educators with AI. The result would be a generation of kids and adults who literally can't do anything without AI assistance. Number 9. We already talked about all the very good reasons we should keep AI out of medicine, and that goes doubly so for matters involving sexual health. So obstetricians and gynecologists are going nowhere. This is another career path where the stats are on the human race's side. There's a 4% predicted job growth for this industry through 2033, and this really shouldn't be surprising. People value their privacy when it comes to their privates, so they would have no interest in the cold, soulless, and potentially hackable artificial mind of a machine climbing into their genitals. Number 8. You may not have loved your high school PE coach, but let's be real, could an AI have really done a better job? Try to separate emotion from this before you answer it, because studies have shown that this is a growth industry with a projected increase in jobs of 9.2% by 2033. And we think the reason for this is actually pretty simple. Whether you're running drills at a high school or leading one of the world's top professional teams, coaching is about more than just strategy. You need deep knowledge of the sport, sure, but you also need to know exactly how far you can push your players before they break. You also need to understand each one on a human level for you to truly motivate them to do their best out on the field. But it's a little chilly out there. Let's head inside. Number 7. Picture some of the AI slop that you have seen online for just a second. You can probably already picture the too smooth skin, the abundance of light coming from every nonsensical angle, and that uncanny glossy finish. One thing you probably didn't think of, if the image was indoors, is what that room looked like. Out of focus, sparsely decorated, strangely plain. For all those reasons, AI interior designers aren't exactly in high demand. Like a lot of artistic pursuits, when you hire an interior designer, you want someone with a vision and a real sense of style. Someone who can work and communicate with you on the look you want for your home. It's part of the reason that jobs in this sector are still expected to grow by 3% by 2034. Speaking of artistic pursuits, number 6. AI will never replace YouTubers. Okay, we'll wait for you to finish laughing, but seriously, think about it for a second. AI can be undeniably effective when it comes to churning out massive amounts of low-quality content that preys on children and the elderly for engagement farming. But would you be really content watching AI-generated videos for the rest of your life? It'd be like saying you'd be happy about eating McDonald's cheeseburgers from here to death. Even the video you're watching right now is made with the contributions of writers, editors, fact-checkers, producers, animators, and a voiceover artist. Sure, there's already plenty of low-quality AI content filling up the internet. Some creators might even gain enough watch time to scrape by on a passive income. But think about your own habits. You probably have a favorite YouTuber you always come back to, and they are probably human. Number 5. Civil engineering is another one of those confirmed growth industries with a projected job growth of 5% going out to 2034. So what is a civil engineer, and why does it seem like AI would be so unlikely to steal the job? Basically, civil engineers design and maintain public works, things as mundane as roads or as exciting as hydroelectric dams. They create and fix the infrastructure around us every day, and the work is just too important and too high risk to make outsourcing them to AI a reasonable decision. It's one thing if an AI messes up someone's fast food order or makes a bad piece of online content, but if a bridge collapses and 50 people are killed because the AI designed it badly, well, the consequences would be a lot more severe. Number 4. Firefighting is another highly physical job where if it's messed up, people can die in truly horrific fashions. Firefighters are expected to be more in demand in the near future, with growth through 2033 expected at 4%, thanks to climate change. Firefighters need a superlative level of physical fitness, but they've also got to be cool under pressure and highly adaptable to change. Like with a lot of the more life-or-death jobs on this list, it's less to do with the inherent moral quality because, well, let's be real, big corporations don't really care if you live or die. Firefighters are safe from AI overreach for a more simple reason. The first time a family burns to death because an AI firefighter failed to save them, the company that made it would be sued to hell and back. Number 3. Phlebotomist. That's a fun word, isn't it? As well as sounding awesome, a phlebotomist is a cornerstone of the medical industry whose work saves millions of lives every year. They are people who are experts in puncturing veins. No, we're not talking about vampires. They draw blood for donations and blood tests. And it's extremely delicate work that also requires a lot of care for the patient. And given that most people feel a little uneasy around needles at the best of times, would you trust an AI-powered machine to stab you in the arteries with a sharp point? Yeah, we don't think so either. Speaking of things that require a tender touch. Number 2. When you need someone with the magic touch to help you de-stress, a robot just won't do. That's where masseuses come in. If you live in a major urban area, you probably wander by a number of massage parlors every single day. The clientele of these places pay not only for the expert relaxation therapy, but also the intimacy of another real person doing the job. That's something you would lose if you were working with a glorified smart massage gun or a chair. Ultimately, there is no way AI could deliver the same experience that people want here. But there is one thing that AI definitely can deliver. Number 1. Cleaning up after AI messes. If anyone tells you that AI is an infallible technology that rarely messes up, they are either concerned about stock prices or they have asked ChatGPT to write a reply for them. AI seems to cause disasters in every industry they're implemented in to please technologically ignorant shareholders. And in a rare win for humanity, this is likely to lead to the creation of new jobs in a number of industries, employees who need to head in and save the day after AI ruins everything. When AI destroys the professional copy of a number of websites, real freelancers get called in to rewrite it. When AI arbitrarily deletes a bunch of important code and then lies about it, people who understand the situation will need to enter the fray to fix it. And when you're weeping in line at McDonald's because you're wondering how to pay for the 700 McNuggets that AI has ordered on your behalf, you'll be extremely grateful to have humans drop in to solve the problem. And it might just be an eternity before AI can fill that role for us. Want the exact opposite of this video? Then check out which job should you avoid because robots will take them first. Or watch this instead.